Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is a scene for Sept of the Howling Wind. So, sometimes there are emergencies. Emergencies happen. And Nick Steele is running his ass out the door to deal with an emergency with his husband to be, giving him so many pouts and whimpers, but understanding that he has to go. No, but really, no, but right now. Stop looking at me like that, probably. He gives him so many kisses before he bolts out the door. And as his darling leaves, Jesse, kind of cuddled up in his bathrobe, will look out the window as he goes, wanting to hold on to him for those moments as he's leaving, just kind of really holding on to him as long as he can. Soft little smile on his face. And once his car is rounded the corner and he knows that he's left for the day, he stretches his arms above his head and he walks quietly to the guest bedroom of their house. He'll untie the tie in his robe, let it slide off, and crawl onto the bed and over the sleeping form of another person. He'll kind of smile as he looks down to her before she's woken up, just taking in her beauty as she sleeps. And after a few moments of watching her, he'll lean down and kiss her shoulder softly.
Her eyes will flutter open, and she'll smile.
He stretches again, kind of that morning, oh, I gotta wake up.
Her eyes are a little puffy, but for the most part, she looks very, very happy.
And he'll smile, and he'll rest his chin on her, kind of lightly lay on her, bearing his weight in mind. I have things to do today. I have to see the keeper. I have to check on the cubs, as do you. I have to go to the shrine. But right now, I don't have anything to do. I look at you.
She'll smile. She'll turn over on her side. I also have things to do today. Like every day. Cubs are priority, but Seeker's pretty capable of keeping them in line for a while.
She helped me a lot last night.
Did she?
hmm She talked to me when I was stressed, helped me when I was crying. I was really upset yesterday.
I know.
I know you were too. I think I'm getting this. I think it's starting to suck in what we're doing here.
She'll nod. The things that I said made sense.
think on that for a moment. He'll actually kind of lay down on his back and pull her to his side. Yeah. I think I needed, and I mean this sincerely, I'm not just saying this to blow smoke up your ass. I think had you tried to explain it to me, and Nick tried to explain it to me, it wouldn't have worked. But the way that you both came at it, and what I was able to glean from it, I think I'm understanding what we're trying to do here, and what I'm not familiar with this lifestyle, and to be honest, there's a part of me that equates it very heavily to fetishism.
A lot of people that way.
But I'm trusting that it's not. I'm trying to understand. I get, okay, so you and Nick will make babies together. You're gonna make love to each other, which isn't his preference. And
I
truth
know.
be told, it's not really mine. You just, you seem to be able to kind of get past that.
She'll smile.
I, so you and Nick are going to be parents, literal biological parents, together, and lovers to bring life, which excludes me. You and him don't have romantic feelings towards each other. He'll look at her like seeing if he's hitting it in
She
the right ballpark.
she nods. That's right.
But you and I have romantic feelings for each other.
She
But
takes a deep breath.
okay, for about 2 fucking seconds, his heart stops. And his brows go up like, confirm, please?
She takes a deep breath and she says, "Yes,
Okay.
very much so."
He'll like cover his heart, like, fuck, I need to breathe now. Okay, good, okay. But we cannot share the intimacy of creating life together. So, what you and Nick lack in romantic intimacy, you and I have. And what you and I lack in, oh, fuck, I don't know, biological intimacy. I don't know. Shit, I'm trying.
She just nods.
In the
Yes.
power to create life, in the intimacy that flourishes in that you and Nick share, which you and I don't. So this, me being with you romantically, intimately, kind of covers your need for romantic involvement in this situation.
Yes.
Yes! Yes! I got it! I got it! That way nobody here is feeling used. Or like we're just doing this just and only like, for breeding or things like that. Right?
She nods. Right. Yes.
And you don't want Nick to not be my priority. And Nick understands that you will always be a priority to me, even if he's my first priority.
She'll nod.
Okay. Okay. And you're good with that, and he's good with that. Okay. Okay. Well, smile at her.
She kind of chews her lip.
What?
I fell for you a lot harder than I intended.
A horrible decision, really.
No, I don't think so.
He'll roll on his side, kind of wrap his arm around her waist.
When you just continued to accept me for who I am and what I've done in the past, it, yeah, I was really, really terrified that I was going to lose you.
I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking about walking away last night. And it's not because I don't love you. It's not because I don't want this to work. It's not anything to do with that. I just understand that sometimes. I understand that just because two people are in love, it doesn't mean they get to be together. I understand that this isn't a fairy tale, that things don't always work out Disney-esque, picture perfect. I mean, for Christ's sake, keep in mind my favorite Disney movie is Moana, that has literally no romantic subplot whatsoever. I'm not saying I'm not.
She smiles.
I'm not saying that I'm not. I'm not that I'm not. That I don't appreciate a good love story. Obviously, I'm a Galliard, but I also understand that love isn't all that makes a relationship. And I was having a lot of trouble connecting the dots here to see how we could make this into something that worked, something that was strong enough for us to have to defend. Because there's going to be naysayers. This sept may have a no metis, no broken law rule. Same with my sept, actually. The one I came from. And you could have who you were taking to bed as long as the metis wasn't made out of it. And if you did, that it was taken care of. They didn't split families up. They didn't punish people for loving each other. But you were going to take care of that child if that's what you decided to do together. And you probably would never see Elder. And it could be guaranteed that when it came time for battle, you were on the front line. So I'm not unfamiliar with this. what we're doing here. But I do want to, two things. One, I want you to make sure that we're not gonna have that problem. I talked to Nick. I don't plan on having children. Never did, to be honest. I feel like what I got going on with me with Coyote isn't meant to go outside of me, if that makes sense. You follow?
She nods. Yes.
I'm not saying like I feel like a priest of Coyote or something like that, but there's a part of me that feels that this wasn't meant to be passed along. That for the measure in Coyote I've been given, that part of being given that was he'll blink and he's thinking. I said this when I came really early in. I can't remember who I said it to. I think it was Kate. But I said that I felt that I would never have children. I never really wanted them. And it was because this wasn't meant to be passed on. That my line would end with me, but that was okay. Because bear in mind, actually, as far as my grandfather's line goes, we're done. I'll shrug. He actually has a sad look. Kate is a female. And, on those sorts of lines, it goes to the father. Her father passed, mine passed, and I don't plan on having children. It was just my father and my uncle, so
Yeah.
the steel line in that regard ends with me. But I also feel like it was meant to be that way. I don't know why, I just have faith in it.
She'll nod.
I'll stroke her face.
She'll lean into his hand. To minimize scrutiny, we should try and the depth of our feelings between us. We can be affectionate, the mother of your so that's not a problem for me. Just I don't know. People can probably tell anyway, so it probably doesn't matter.
I think they can tell that we love each other, that we respect each other. I don't think they need to know what's going on in our bedroom.
No, for sure.
There's just no reason to create that drama. And if anybody says anything about it, fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, I don't think we're violating any of the laws. If we're not violating any of the laws, then it is nobody's business. If they try to make it business, I'll challenge them. But I am not going to be punished for my love. And I'm not going to be punished for building a foundation in a home environment that is going to raise our children in a solid family. I understand. I'm going to speak really damn blunt, okay? Sometimes I really do feel like the first law is more harmful to kinfolk than not. I know that the creation of the metis is something that is seen as a stain or a sin, and that's fine, and I can respect that. But people are literally punished, shamed, and hurt for love. And then they turn around and they take it out on the kin.
Because we're essentially forced into them.
Mm-hmm. It's not about love. It's about I'll think on it for a moment, trying to find the right word. It's about having no recourse. I don't know why Gaia deemed to punish love like that. I don't know why Gaia. It's the one great, painful question I've had. Why? If there's no biological reason, if there's no genetic purpose or rhyme behind the creation of the medicine, why? Because if it were a situation where it was just that the blood was too strong, he'll air quote, then why don't those cat changers, when they mate with Garu, how come that don't produce metis?
She shrugs.
There was a girl in our sept, and she met and befriended. It was really controversial, but she met and befriended a cat changer. He was a Florida Panther, Indian fellow. Really, he's okay. He was very quiet. I never saw him much. He didn't come around. We had some dealings with him, but I didn't talk to him too much. He was always really mysterious. He had a way of speaking that seemed like he was always holding a secret on his lips. But she fell in love with him, at least for a time. Lay together, and they had a baby, a girl, beautiful little girl. And she bred true. Well, she bred a Garu. If it was just the strength of the blood, if it was just that Garu upon Garu mating was too strong and it was genetically scrambling things up, you know what I mean?
She'll nod.
Then why don't we produce metis with others? See, that don't make no sense. But when you pair Garu to Garu, it stains the soul. So that means someone
We're all
bearing out that punishment.
Do you think, I've thought of this before,
I would hope, as the mother of a metis, you've given this thought. I'm not going to lie, and I'm not trying to down you, but I consider this.
shifters, we're all shifters, we're all Gaian. Why are we, Garu, some of the only ones that produce metis the way that we do? That from the studies I've done on some of the Farah, there's only one or two others that, and she'll air quote, metis, but they revere theirs. purest of the pure.
It don't even make sense to the wolven side of things. Because when a wolf is born deformed and sick in the wild, as long as he's not, or she, I'm not going to assume the wolf's gender, as long as, and coyotes too, as long as they're not so deformed that it literally, in and of itself, would be fatal, wolves, for the most part, do share and show compassion. Same with coyo. If a member of the pack is born different, you know, they feed it. They rally around it and fight. I mean, yeah, it's probably going to come to Omega. How the fuck isn't that how human society works anyway? Man, we treat our people who with differences terribly. That's not even a question. God damn, that pisses me off. Lack of fucking compassion kills me.
But I'm wondering if somewhere along the way we weren't cursed by something. It's not actually Gaia that puts it upon us, it's something else.
What if it's just us? What if it's just our frame of mind, our attitude? We wrote the laws, Gaia didn't.
Yes, but I'm talking about all metas are sterile.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? What causes them to be that way? Other shifters, they can have children that aren't sterile, that can carry on their family lines. Why can't we?
Balance. The metas can be some of the strongest warriors of Gaia, if you think about it. They have healing capabilities that surpass our own. Yes, although most do have hindrances, if you think about it, the overcoming of those hindrances is what can make them stronger. They're put to a harder test. They have to walk a stronger cutting road. But we throw them out. We make their mothers suffer. Has nobody heard of a cesarean section? Why do we literally make Garu women bear that? All you have to do is swipe. Perform a cesarean section, bring the baby out.
The way it's been explained to me is to remind us of what we did wrong, making us suffer that way.
Which is imposed by who?
She'll shrug.
Look, I'm gonna be dead honest about something, okay? This nation is terrible to women. No one wants to talk about that. Like, I get the Black Furies have a bit of a corner on that market, but from top to bottom, the nation is terrible on reproductive rights, agency, consent, and basically anything that would. He'll pat her side like I'm about to summon Pegasus if I don't shut up.
Yeah. I know. The way that things are written and interpreted. Makes it to where the female Garu are the ones who suffer the most. I had to give up. I had to choose between my child and my everything else.
Nobody should have to choose that.
So I had to foster him out. I wanted to remain in good standing with the nation. Tears will roll down her face when she says that.
He'll kiss her cheeks gently. I love you. I love you. Shh. So many little kisses.
I love you too.
Look, all of this is just conversation, okay? I mean, it's not like we can do anything about this. And even if I did try, even if I basically said, you know what, this is the way it is, and it's the way it's gonna be, I can't literally challenge the authority of the goddamn nation. First off, not a ragabash. Hashtag. Secondly, I have enough political adversaries in this set to last me 5 lifetimes. I really don't need to hand him a silver bullet. Not that I wouldn't for you. We just don't need to do that to ourselves. I ain't about to be the trailblazer that sets this nation right on how we view the first law.
It's pretty archaic.
I'm gonna do the next best thing. Who's gonna be the den father, baby? He'll smile softly.
Start from the ground up. Maybe the next generation of Garu can be the change that we need.
Exactly. So we start subtly teaching them. We start sowing into them the idea that perhaps, maybe, this is just one big self-induced crisis.
I shouldn't have stifled Kate and Lefty the way I did.
So many opinions. I have so many goddamn opinions, baby. I have so many opinions. And none of them need to be spoken now that someone is laid to rest.
Yeah.
I think
I was just...
Oh, look at her.
I was just scared for them. Didn't want them to go through what I did.
I can understand that. But somebody needs to address the reproductive rights of the nation and how things as they stand right now leave female Garu and kinfolk very vulnerable.
Yeah. Because even female kinfolk, if they get pregnant, even if they didn't want to get pregnant, are expected to carry the baby. They have to have the child.
One of my very dear friends, the first pack that I ran with,
One of my closest friends was a menace. She was a Theurge of the Octana. She was her name was Moonlight's Beauty. She was as white as a beam of moonlight, and she had this beautiful, delicate little singing voice. She actually reminded me a lot of Days Rays.
She'll
She was
smile.
very gentle soul. His eyes tear up. They just well with tears, and he kind of shuts them tightly. I lost my first pack. It's why I was so. It's why I had trouble with the fight when I first came. It's why I couldn't strike fellow Garu. I was having trouble. I don't like to talk about it too much.
She'll take his hand. I'm sorry. I've lost and gained packmates over the years, but for the most part, most of my pack has always been together.
I think that's part of why I had some trouble advancing too. That was about 2/3 into my long-term career as a cub. You know, sometimes I think the reason I make such a natural den father now is because of how long my cubhood lasted. He'll just shake his head. We had an alpha of the pack who was a Modi. And she was very overconfident, very overconfident. And I knew we were walking into a trap. I told her. But she was Cleith. And Moonlight and I were trying really hard to shore up our reputation enough to challenge, you know? And I told her that we were walking into a trap. She thought we were attacking a leech nest. And I told her it wasn't, that wasn't where they took to ground. That everything I had seen and watched and looked into, that wasn't it. She said even if it wasn't, that we still had the advantage, and that Fenris would be with us. And that we were unstoppable, that we were warriors of Gaia, that nothing could touch us. I'll shrug and look at her.
Tears. She'll squeeze his hand.
I was so angry at losing Moonlight She was like my little sister. She was my baby. I literally helped to raise her from when she was fresh from the womb. She killed her mother coming into the world. Remember when I said I had seen a Metis come through someone's chest?
She nods.
He'll snap his finger and point, nod. That was it. And they literally handed her over to me. I looked at this bloody little pale mess of a pup in my hands, and I was like, what the fuck? Whoa! And she was clumsy and silly, and her paws were too big, and her teeth were too sharp. I got scars from that girl, actually. A smile.
Yeah.
But she was my baby. She's my little buddy. Obviously, the den father raised her, but I had a strong hand in it. And I didn't even stop for 2 seconds to think about saving that Fenrir's life. When I saw that Moonlight had been so hurt, I knew she was going to die. I knew it. I could see the life draining right out of her, and there was nothing I could do. Our healer had already been taken out. And the leeches had gotten a hold of her. Of the, her name is Hilda. They had gotten a hold of her, and they were dragging her. And she was screaming for me to help her. And I knew Moonlight was dying. I knew she was dying. And I turned my back on her. I went to Moonlight and held her in my arms. I just looked her in her face. I just was there for her while she died. I didn't want her to die alone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have never told anyone that. I have literally never told anyone that. If I had intervened, would she have survived? Hilda? Maybe. Hell, I'll even take a strong jump and say probably. And I don't give a shit. Her overconfidence and stupidity killed my best friend. And in that moment, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So that's when I first came to the Sept, I made it seem like I had a problem hitting people because I was so angry. I was still so angry over that. That I was afraid I'd take it out on people that didn't deserve it, you know?
Yeah. That's a lot to deal with.
A shrug. Not really. She died, probably corrupted by the Unmaker's taint. So I know for sure as hell she ain't accepted into Valhalla. At the end of the day, people need to realize that Coyote has a vindictive and spiteful side and isn't just a jokester, a prankster. Team Ali is one of the faces that I can show. And in that moment, she was strong with me. I could feel my lips turning into a cold sneer as I just turned my back on her, and I hate myself for it at times. He'll shrug. But it is what it is. I hope you don't think any less of me for telling you that.
Why would I?
I just essentially told you that I let a fellow guard die.
To make hard decisions. I've made my share.
I truly didn't want Moonlight to die alone. That was the motivating factor of what happened. But I would be lying if I didn't say that I wrote her off and was perfectly content to let her die for her own stupidity, arrogance, and foolhardiness. She didn't deserve to be a warrior of Gaia. She didn't deserve to have her tales added to those that came before her. In my eyes. And maybe I'm a shitty person for passing that judgment. I'm sure it's hell not a Philodox to do so. I consider it, to be honestly, one of the worst things I've ever done in my life. No buts. Full stop. If you were to ever ask me what's the worst thing you've ever done, Jesse, that's what I would say. That I let a fellow Garo I could have saved died. Please, don't ever let the Fenrir Mafia know that. Oh my god.
I'm not going to say anything to anybody.
I won't lie. I think the elders at my sept, including the Fenrir elders, knew what happened. I think they know, to be honest. But I think it's also unspoken. I think they know that there's only so much resentment you can build in someone before they lose all compassion to your suffering. When you put out what you get. But that's also, to bring things back, what worries me about the nation. I'm afraid that sometimes we are getting what we put out. He'll shrug and kiss her softly. I am so in love with you. You know that, right?
She smiles and nods. I do. And I am with you. She closes her eyes. Much.
Sometimes I think I'm too in love with you.
She nods as if she understands that feeling.
Does it hurt? If you...
What?
If you sterilize me, would it hurt? Or are we breaking out Grandpa's moonshine for this shit? Not doing this now, by the way. Holds a finger up like, nope.
She'll... It doesn't regenerate.
Good, that's the point. Hold on.
So, I have some very strong stuff to give you beforehand. But it's gonna hurt.
Can we get like the flogging Molly going on in the background and kind of make a party out of it? I have like a little hat and a little noisemaker. Put a little hat on my butt.
She just kind of shakes her head. Like, I mean,
A little
if you
party hat, not like
want.
a trilby. Jesus Christ. I'll kind of jut his butt out for a second. Like, look at that, look at that. I got some muscle back there.
She smiles.
I'll tangle his legs up with her playfully. Can we have sex in Krenos one day? I'll just whisper.
She'll smile. Yeah. Yeah, we can.
Yes! Yes! I've always wanted to do that. No, wait, hold on. I've had sex with Krenos. Whoa! Back that up. Freudian slip. I have had sex in Krenos, asked Nick.
Oh my.
No, baby. I went from Lupus to Hamid, back to Lupus one night, all in one go.
Wow.
Try not to sound so excited.
No, she's like kind of
Trying to
in
process.
awe about it. Like he can't because she's like he can't shift. So, oh my god.
Yeah. He'll kind of smile at her like, oh yeah. Just let that roll around your brain for a while. And he'll smile. I need to go see the keeper. Are you in a pack with them too?
They're in the patio.
Okay.
They call themselves the Misfits.
Nice. I kind of need to, say, hey, although I know my pack mate's kind of the one in charge of this, I'm going to drop a fucking shrine to Coyote in the middle of your set. Just to let you know, Coyote's going to live here now. You may want to be prepared. Not going to lie, Coyote can be a little bit mischievous. But seeing that the pack's named the Misfits, hey, maybe I'm walking into the perfect situation here. Last night.
She just
Oh, look at her face. Bad as eyes.
What?
Last night was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Once we Yeah.
I didn't know you could bend that way. You do yoga, don't you?
There's no furniture in my house for a reason.
Yes!
She just smiles really wide.
Oh, he'll roll on top of her and kind of shove his face between her boobies, like his chin, looking up at her. I have to go. I don't want to go. I want to stay in bed with you all day. You're my elder. Tell me to go, so I have to listen to you.
She'll pull him into her arms. Very tight hug.
He'll smile at her. He'll cup her cheeks and give her a deep kiss.
Oh yeah, she'll kiss him back.
I need to take a shower before I go. Because there are lupus on this sept. And if they smell you all over me, I get in fucking trouble.
All right, go take a shower. I should get around and start heading back to the Cubs anyway.
He does to her what he did to Nick. Whimper, pout, his lip goes out. His lip will just quiver. Like, why?
We'll see each other later.
No, we won't. You're gonna go away forever.
No, I'm not. You know where I'm at. Jeez.
I'm sorry you don't love me anymore.
She'll stick her tongue out at him.
He'll catch her with
Go.
his teeth.
Oh.
He'll grin at her and like bounce. Come take a shower with me then.
She'll stand up and practically run to the shower with him.
Oh my god, I'm looking at when you move. And he'll like slide into the shower with her and take one. He'll get extra clean. And wash her hair, wash his hair. He'll pile all of her hair on top of her head in a little bubbly mess. And blow bubbles in her face. And have fun in the shower with her. They'll even do shower karaoke.
Yeah, shower karaoke definitely happens with two Galliards.
Hell yeah. Man, they're doing fucking Les Mis. No, fuck this. No, you know what they're fucking doing? You know what they're fucking doing? How does a bastard orphan, son of a whore and a Scotsman, in the middle of a forgotten he's fucking Hamiltoning this bitch. Like, we're going full fucking Alexander Hamilton in this fucking shower. Like, I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Oh, once he does that, and once he kind of gets everything basically kind of settled and stretches out, gets dressed again. He'll put on some. Yo, I just found you a really nice face cream. Once he gets basically everything kind of settled and here, by the way, I'm gonna send you something. He'll see her out the door without the bye-bye kisses, just to not, erase suspicion like an asshole. Hold on a second. Check what I sent you. You might like that.
Yes.
Yes, I know. I'm good at this. I'm sorry.
Good. Give me a second. Come on. I hate that Facebook is so laggy with Hangouts.
I know, right?
face.
The keeper of the land can generally be found, I think, we're on Sept.
It was the keeper on your street, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
God, Facebook, stop.
No, right? It's killing me.
Excuse me while I
It's this guy.
dropkick Facebook next week.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think anybody's watching anymore. If they are, then they know us and they love us.
Right?
You're blunt about that. Like, just to be fucking really straightforward, anybody who's with us still are fans.
I mean, yeah, it has been an hour.
My friend Lou, you did Jeb Stitches. He'll watch the scenes that long.
I'll watch them that long if they're really entertaining.
Oh, God fucking knows these two are entertaining. Oh, hey, by the way, let me put my medicine you. Like, let's be real. People don't read the fucking descriptions. They're like, who's he fucking today? Who's she fucking today? Who's fucking who? What? What's going on? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. They don't actually watch this shit. How does a bastard or the son of a whore and a Scotsman dropped in the middle? Spot in the cooler. So, just to fill in some space, okay, just to handle this while we're here, okay. Jesse is he's going to leave, okay, and he's going to leave, and he's going to go to, before he goes to find the keeper, he's actually got some stuff of his own to do. He's going to go to the shrine, to the maze. And he's going to take out, today he takes out a Quran. And it's one of those ones where the right side of the book has the Arabic script and the Arabic form of the Quran. And the left side has the translation. And he'll basically sit down, he'll go through the maze, he'll do the walkthrough. And he'll sit down in the middle and he'll pull it out. And he'll basically find a prayer in it. And he's going to cross his legs under himself. And he'll kind of read through it, like just kind of carefully reading this chapter in this area in the Quran. And once he feels that he's become familiar with the prayer in question, he'll take out a small compass and he'll hold it in his palm and he'll orient it, and he'll find north, and he'll shift, move his body and face east, and he will prostrate himself, and he will pray in English, but an Islamic prayer to Coyote, and basically spend about an hour. He'll spend about 15 to 20 minutes just in deep prayer to Coyote, with an Islamic bent on it this time. Just very deeply receiving into his heart and very deeply kind of, oh my God, that picture's so good. Very deeply pulling it into himself and reflecting on including this in the space. And once he's finished with that, he'll get up
and he'll clean off. He'll make sure the stones are all clean. He'll use his little broom, and he'll just pick up any debris, any overly large rocks, and he'll kind of respectfully set them off to the side. And he'll just very carefully kind of go over the area and making sure that it's nice and clean and pretty for Coyote. And then he'll make off to find the keeper.
The keeper can be found near where the shrines are. Just kind of tending to them. She seems to be pleased with all of the progress and things like that. So yeah, just kind of, doing keeper duties.
He'll smile at her as he approaches and give her kind of a respectful show of his throat.
It takes her a second to notice him. She'll acknowledge him, wave him off.
I know we've seen each other on the set, but I don't think we've been formally introduced.
You are the one with Coyote.
Well, I think we're kind of more of in a friendship, but sure.
A small smile. I'm binds by blood. Metis Uktena Therge, keeper of the land.
I'm man with 1,000 faces. I'm a Galliard to the Uktena. Hamid. I'm the assistant to the dead mother.
And Cleothea, yes.
He'll snap his fingers like, there we go, that was it. And he'll say, yes, ma'am.
She'll give him a nod.
I just wanted to let you know that although I know that Sierra has been in charge of essentially the construction and upkeep of the shrines, there is no possible way that I could dedicate a shrine to Coyote without bringing it to the keeper of the land first.
I appreciate that. Not mind a shrine to Coyote.
He'll smile.
I have some history with him myself.
Oh, do you know?
Not as much as yours, obviously. But yeah. Coyote is special.
I think that is definitely one way to describe him. That is an appropriate adjective.
But I
I'm building.
appreciate what is Coyote having you do to bless the shrine?
We're going to build a small altar made of red sandstone from his sacred lands. In order for him to show us where it is, we have to catch a white rabbit with a black stripe. Not kill it, just catch it.
She'll smile.
I'm not sure if this is a metaphor for something. And there's a part
I
of me.
suppose that's
Oh, no.
for you to find out.
He's like, I'm not going to lie. There's a part of me that's very, very sorely tempted to get my entire pack ridiculously high on peyote and go find us a spiritual white rabbit with a black stripe. I can't tell if you appreciate my tenacity or be very angry at me for that one, or both. He might be like, Jesse, you thunder ass. What are you doing? And I'll be like, you did this to me. You did this to me, you wily bastard. I'm just amazed he didn't send me after a roadrunner.
Well, that one would be too cliche.
Very cliche. No smile at her. I don't mean to be presumptuous, but you seem as though you have something weighing on your mind, and I'm nosy.
She purses her lips. You are a brother in my tribe. I have concerns over the intercept of
Respectfully. Binds by Blooderia. Although you have not said it, this has the tone of so what had happened was. And if that's going to be the case, I'm going to ask that we sit down and we break out the smoking tobacco and the skinny pop and we unpack this. With all due respect. He'll nod like, I got to hear this, but...
She just looks at him. I don't have time to go into it today. But I have concerns and reservations. I trust Alpha, tribe sister. But, well, as I said, today.
He'll look down and think a moment. First off, sorry, Coyote got away with me there for a moment. Furthermore, I am familiar with the history behind our tribe. He'll kind of like point at his galliardness, like, duh. I have had several of the same concerns. But my problem is hypocrisy.
She looks a bit intrigued by that.
He'll think a moment. He'll hold a finger up and he doesn't normally do this, but he'll actually fish out. It's not the tin he keeps his marijuana in. It's actually a cigarette case. But they're rolled. They're not hand rolled, but they're like pure leaf tobacco cigarettes with like mentha in them. And he'll kind of tap it like, is it okay?
She'll nod.
Yeah, this requires a cigarette. He'll pull one out, light it, take a long drag. He doesn't smoke cigarettes very often, so. And he'll kind of like hold the smoke for a second, closing his eyes. She'll smell the scent of like orange and like mint on the air, with a hint of clove, and kind of tilts his head back and release the smoke. I'm going to speak very bluntly.
By all means.
It's fine with you. Okay. When I came forward and said that my stepdaughter Erica was... No, actually, hold on. Let me put a pin in that and step back one moment, please. One would have to be ignorant to a point of irresponsibility if one did not know the history between the Uktena and the Fenrir. It is not as bad as that between the Wendigo and the Fenrir. There are times that I would say it can be worse, because where the Fenrir and the Uktena were in open hostility at times, literally at war, the Fenrir and the Uktena were as well, less so, but it was more the Uktena who fell to the depredations of the Fenrir's conquering nature. There were a time that the Uktena and the Fenrir lived side by side in the Americas. To the north, those cultures have become lost to us through time, through settlements ending naturally as they do, cultures coming to pass. But that's not the history we hold on to. Now, I'm not going to stand here and pretend to be a noble savage. The fact of the matter is, as I've said before, by the time that the Europeans got here, we lost, what, 90% of our population? To our own depredations. But that doesn't change the fact that there are many Fenrir septs that are sitting on Uktena bones. Many. And there were many ways that those septs were taken. And one of the ways that those septs were taken was through white saviorism. He actually has to take a breath. Like, he's getting angry. When we first spoke about Erica and about returning her to us, the Fenrir were very loud about politics and sensitivity and paying attention to what could upset their tribe. I was told many times that I might even have to take a back seat and let them orchestrate things so that such things were paid attention to. Yet where is that respect now? Where is that respect when they are literally summoning spirit after spirit after spirit onto our land? When they come in here and begin to isolate themselves, walk around as though they have an inherent right to be here. All cleeth, none proven. I have seen septs fall to white saviorism. Oh, no. But politics. But we need to be sensitive. Forget lives matter. Has the Master of Right even been consulted on a quarter of the rites being performed on this sept. Because as I remember it, the Master of Rite needed to be consulted on major rites. I have performed a handful of rites since I've gotten to the sept with explicit permission. I perform the rites to honor the deeds of our people and the rites to cleanse those who came onto the land as a guardian. Every rite I've done outside of that has been at the express permission of a Theurge. And what I know to be acceptably passable by the Rite Master. Where is our Rite Master? I don't know. Are proper dues by the Fenrir being paid to our Rite Master? Is she being given the deference that she deserves, the respect? I don't know. And that's not good. Those sorts of considerations to our people, to the Uktena, because of the history in place, needs to be observed. So I'm trying my damnedest to work with everybody here and to get along and to sit happy singing Kumbaya. I am trying my hardest, Elder. But I also feel as though I have a very large muzzle sitting on my mouth, with the inability to point out any of this in the spirit of a lack of cooperation. But I see you, sister, and I see your concerns. Valid. He'll take another long drag off the cigarette. And just kind of tilt his head and release it.
Speaking, her expression was talking about the rites being performed, though. She tightened her expression, her lips tightened. I do not know if they had been asking either.
And I'm not
Wisdom of the earth.
I'm sorry, you lied the night. I'm sorry, go on.
Wisdom of the earth has always been very private.
Well,
Dress. For being allowed on the sept. Understand.
you lied out a little bit, so I couldn't hear that last part.
She said she has yet to address the number of them being allowed on the sept, and I don't understand.
I don't have so much of a concern with the amount of Fenrir, although that is a concern. But with the feeling of isolationism, the feeling I open and welcome anyone to contribute to the Sept, to bring things to the Sept that make it stronger, to bring things to our people that we can celebrate in, take pride in, Elder. But again, I am brought back to a place where I do not understand why they are not sharing their, for instance, and please do not think this is an attack, I'm being serious. Although I am impressed by and I appreciate the ritual they performed during the solar eclipse, I'm disheartened by the fact that the Sept was not included. I do not see why this had to be something that only the Fenrir had to do. It feels like it, although I appreciate the benefits of it, it also feels as though something is being done for me. That I'm not good enough to do it myself. That I have to be given this blessing instead of taking a part of it. Am I making sense?
She gives a nod. You are.
As I understand it, they summoned a fire giant onto the Sept the other day. I have concern with that. Legitimate. This area is very prone to wildfires.
I want to have a word with the Urge.
And I wish you to understand that's not me trying to be petty. These are serious concerns. Fire
She nods.
naturally...
They are They are the same as mine. You can't have too much fire around here.
Could you clarify something for me, Elder? Are you saying that one cannot bring too much fire to this place, or that there cannot be enough fire here, that we are open to more?
Too much fire here. Destruction. This whole area is live and for all intents and purposes a desert.
He'll nod.
Wisdom of the earth has made a decree before to not use fire to dispose of things absolutely necessary. Harm the city.
And as I understand it,
Or the Sept.
And as I understand it, there's a forge being built on this land.
Because of the plans that they showed would be very controlled.
Okay. He'll nod, satisfied, like, okay. He's not going to crackers that one. He's good.
Still wary of them. And that Theurge, I need to have a word with her.
I personally would like myself to see more inclusion. To feel less like one pack of Fenrir that has come and formed, especially one so young, and one where there is much family in them, I am related to them by bonds of marriage, and it means nothing. My husband's sister is one of their cousin's kin, and I'm merely deigned to be in their presence. It was actually spoken of in a bit of a derisive tone when they found out that Nick had married a Noctana. In passing, it was small, but he'll shrug. I'm from a sept where the Fenrir and the Octana are brothers. We live side by side. There's a camp of Ymir's sweat in us, where those bonds are celebrated and strengthened. So to feel such a split confuses me. It makes me feel as though they don't understand the sensitivity of the nature. They don't understand why. Although they are not the ones who conquered our septs, 'twas their ancestors, why we're still going to be afraid and suspicious. And why he'll shake his head. Politics are just as important to us as it is to them. I want this sept to work in cooperation and unity. I want to bring up the cubs to believe that this nation is united against the worm, not against each other. How can I do that when I can't even show them in our own sept that we're united? He'll look down and swallow.
The best way to get everyone on the same page is to hold moots. You are a Galliard. Might only be a Cleoth, but you are wise beyond your years.
I'll smile.
It means that as rank and not his actual years.
No, I get it.
I think if you give your perspective, she will listen.
To wisdom of the earth?
She'll nod.
Jesus. All he does for a moment is think of exactly how much peyote that's going to require. He'll shake his head. Like, not shake his head as in, like, no, shake it. He's shaking his head like an agreement, like, if that makes sense. He nods and he'll take a finishing drag off of his cigarette and he'll kind of like carefully tamp the cherry out on his foot, like on not his foot, on the bottom of his shoe, and stick the short back in the case so he doesn't throw it on the floor. Disposing of it respectfully. I'm just gonna slide it back in his pocket. I just don't want people to think that when I come forward speaking these words, I'm doing it out of a place of increasing the division. I'm doing it from a place of recognizing a problem and trying to figure out a solution. I know the tales of our people. I know the complicated policies that lie here, and I know what happens when septs come to war because the old ways were not respected. And he'll shake his head and look over to her.
You are about to marry kinfolk of the Get of Fenris. Not believe place it. You want a better place for you and your mate. The last thing you want is a divide.
Mm-hmm. One good thing. One good thing in this is that soon I will have Fenrir from my home sept coming to visit. Now, ironically and oddly, even though I spent a very, very long cubship, I do have many friends in that sept. Many people who are endeared by me. Although I did not rise in rank amongst our people quickly, I was always quick to help. I was always ready to lend my hands when I needed to. So I have Fenrir in that sept who would speak well for me, in my opinion, probably, as I would them, who I consider my friends. Still keep in touch with them. Keep track of their tales. Hell, follow them on Facebook. They're coming soon to help with this, and I think one or two might be coming for the wedding. So maybe one of them could help to approach them and not feel so. And he'll kind of look at her like, "Am I making sense?" Like maybe hearing it from a Fenrir how to do this might help. Like help. It's another layer. It's not the whole brunt of it. It's not the solution, but it's a layer to add in.
Mm-hmm. No, she gets it.
I think that might help. My Forseti friend is good at that sort of thing. He can probably maybe share some words with them that will help.
I certainly hope so.
He is he's a good man. He's always spoken with and come from a place of honor and wisdom. Am I killing you mildly over there? So, I have been preparing the site for Coyote. I have been saying prayers and keeping the area clean, the space free of chaos and clutter. I have been trying to give it a measure of my spiritual energy, often, making it a welcome home for Coyote and our sept.
She'll smile.
Can you think of any spirits in the sept that I need to begin to pay triminage to, who might have feelings about Coyote taking up residence here?
Coyote is a Gaian spirit.
Coyote is a guidance spirit, but that does not mean that other spirits, not to explain what I am positive you know, but to show you that I understand this. That does not mean that Coyote... Yeah, good. He ain't about to fucking mansplain this woman. Coyote is a bit of a misfit, and I am positive has frustrated several other spirits. I won't. He'll give like a little smirk, like kind of just a guilty smirk. I'm not going to act as though I do not know Father's temperamental and mercurial nature. And pranks don't always go over well. So if there is any spirit in the sept who I need to begin assuaging now, and if there are none, good. I'll go forward and be my little child of Coyote self, and work on this. If not, then I need to. I need to pay triminage.
The raven spirits.
Ravens are a friend of Coyote. Welcoming them would welcome Coyote too. I'll nod.
She smiles.
Thank you. May I have leave? I have to go do something.
Of course.
And he'll nod.
Be well, my brother.
And thank you, sister. May your path be clear. And he'll nod. And he is going to immediately go and dig his happy ass through every trash pile, everything, like all the stuffs, and then go to Michael's if he fucking has to. And he's gonna come home he's gonna go back to the shrine carrying a massive fucking bag. Big bag. And he's gonna get to work. I'll blue book this, by the way. And what he's gonna do is, first off, he's going to, the scene will be finished after this, by the way. He's going to, in the trees, basically kind of make little bundles of like lint and yarn for ravens to use as nesting material. And he's going to hang about the clearing that's the area that the shrine is in, little wind chimes and like little hanging decorations of mirrors and like shiny sparkly things. And he'll basically kind of spend a couple of hours just really tucking into that. He'll let Dazzles know that he'll actually, no, fuck that. No, buddy, we're doing one better. The cubbies are helping.
And the cubbies are getting a lesson in spirits today and appeasing the spirits in Chiminage and making things a beautiful, happy, like welcoming home for all the spirits. And that's what today's lesson is. He is going to get, like, once he collects up everything, he's going to get all of the cubs to help him with this, basically like hanging stuff and working on this. And again, while he's doing this good old spirit lore, he's going to explain why they're doing this and about raven spirits and about Chiminage and appeasing the spirits. I'll let Maya know that was part of her lesson for today. And yeah, that's basically what he spends a bit of his day doing. So I think that's a good place to end the scene. Thank you, players, for playing.
Sounds good.
And thank you, watchers, for watching.